Hi everyone. I just wanted to do a really quick video here just to show you how to protect your artwork or your work or your projects or anything that you're going to be selling. You want to have your pictures all watermarked. People love to steal your stuff, and it's best to have a watermark on it to avoid that. And some people say, well, people can get around watermarks easy enough in Photoshop, but why just give it away? Make them work for it then. And if they want to try and Photoshop an image and steal it that way, well, let them work for it, and then in the end they're going to end up with a low resolution image anyway. So I am a firm believer in watermarking your work. So you have your image in Silhouette. This is doing it with Silhouette Studio. And I got a kid sleeping beside me here, so she may kick the computer from time to time. But when you're in Silhouette Studio and you've got your image, or if you had a Tumblr you took a picture of, you can load it in here too and put your watermark on it. There's lots of apps for doing this, but I figured I would show you in Silhouette Studio because I have struggled with apps. One of them won't reduce images, and when you try and load them onto Shopify, it's telling you it's bigger than 20 megapixels, so it won't. And that doesn't mean megabytes, it means megapixels. So I save my wraps and that in a high resolution, so if I go to add watermark in the Add Watermark app, it renames the file, but it doesn't reduce the size. So then I'm having to bring it into something else anyway to reduce the size then. So I just figured I may as well just do it all in Silhouette Studio. So I have my wrap here. This is my emotional support tumbler. This actually does look proper, it's just the resolution that I have it at right now kind of sucks. But anyway, go under File and you go to Merge. Merge will bring in another image into this image instead of opening up a new tab in a new window. So you hit Merge, and get your logo, and of course it's going to bring it in gigantic because, like I said, I save everything in a high resolution. So we want to reduce the size down. So I usually just go to here, 33% makes it 3 inches. I think I can go a little smaller than that. 1.6. Don't kick my computer. Sorry. Okay, so let's just make it 2 inches. Okay, and then using this, you can line it up a line left. There it goes. And then a line top. Zoom out and Control arrow right reproduces it. Arrow down, arrow left. Whoops. And yes, you could just select a row and duplicate that row, but whatever. Now, I don't remember, did I? I did not. Okay. So the easier way to do this is to do this off of your image and then just select it all. But you can just hit Shift and then click on all your logos. This is kind of the long way. Sorry about that. Sometimes Silhouette forgets what you're doing when you're selecting, and then it just erases them all. Or unselects them, deselects them. Control G, group them all together. So now you've got all your logos. Yay. We can get rid of these extras. Whoops, sorry. I had a terrible setup here. Okay. Now, you don't want to just completely block your image with your logos. So I turn off the border because they come with a red cut line around them. So just turn that off. That way you can actually see what you're going to be left with after you save. So open on the side here this fill panel. It looks like a little painter's palette. And then there's transparency right here. So usually about, I don't know, a little more than halfway, I would think. That's 57%. It's still really blocking the image. I mean, it's not horrible, but not ideal either. Okay, so 84%. Like the darker the image, the higher you're going to have to go. If it's a really light image, then not so much, but or maybe it's the other way around. But you'll have to adjust your transparency depending on if it's a light image or a dark image. This is a dark image. Sorry, my camera's turned again. So that was transparency right over here. And then it's all transparent. And then you go to save this. Save to hard drive. So I usually put like just WM watermarked. Save it as a JPEG. So you don't need a PNG unless there's clear in it. So I save it as a JPEG. Now normally if this did not have watermarks, I would save it somewhere around 600 dots per inch. But since it's watermarked, I don't want a high resolution picture. So I usually do it about 200 dots per inch. Or width in pixels 2000, and I get that number because that's what Etsy likes. They won't let you, or they complain if you upload an image that isn't at least 2000 pixels wide. So I just figure to appease everything, and I just save it like that. And that way too, if someone thinks they're going to steal your image and work out all that watermark, well, all the power to them, but then they're ended up with a 200 dot per inch image too. So, oh well. And there is your watermarked image, and it's low resolution. So if you want to upload it to Shopify, it should not complain about size. I'm showing you all my shit here. Where's E? There we go. Watermarked. 1.4 megabytes, and it's only, well, as you saw in the saved screen too, it's 2000 megapixels wide. Whereas, well, that's 6,000, 4,000. No, there's got to be something huge here. I don't know. 3,000. Odd. Well, whatever. So you won't complain about this image or the size. And then I thought I would take a quick second just to show you how to tile a seamless file. So this is a digital curio, and when you open it up, it gets a JPEG, but when you open it up, it's 50 inches by 50 inches, and there's nothing you can do about that. Silhouette does its thing, and that's what it's chosen to do. So I usually change it to about 6 by 6. And then this little tool here is the handiest thing ever, because after you open an image that's gigantic, if you change the size of it, it disappears somewhere because it's somewhere in the abyss of your canvas. So if you just click this center to page button, wherever it is, it brings it back here. Took me way too long to discover that little button. So then, again, you're using the control, right, down, left. And then just select all of them, right click, and weld. And that should have worked. So I can see there's a gray line right here. So the top and bottom pieces didn't weld. And you can see in the top here, normally that would change to 12 by 12. So, oh, it didn't weld at all. But these pieces did. That doesn't make any sense. So I usually just move them up a little bit, try again. And that time it welded. But now the size is a little bit off. 12 by 11.981. It's very minor, but you can change it because that little bit, it's not really going to matter. But if you're printing this onto a printer, then you're going to want it to still say 12 by 12. Otherwise, it's going to print with a white edge. So just unlock your aspect ratio and 12 inches. And then center to your screen or to your canvas. Again, if you're printing this, I have it set to a wrap size, but 12 by 12. And then center, and there you go. You have a seamless wrap, or not a wrap, but seamless pattern that's been welded. Okay, if you have any questions, you can post them down below, and I will try to answer as quickly as possible. Thanks. Have a good night.